he fell. Yeah. So we're here at the park. Give us a little background of yourself. Well, like you're a photographer now, so you just went to an event recently, right? So let's just talk about that. We'll talk about like other stuff, like our friendship and stuff, maybe.
Yeah. So as you said, I'm a photographer. I just recently did my first ever event photo shoot. I originally went there, or actually, funny story, you were the one there when I got the initial like sort of
Invitation, kind of.
yeah, the initial invitation.
Yeah, we were like down in Lido area, Newport. Well, you were taking photos. I was like walking around with the GoPro, kind of testing it out, because I think that was like the first day I got it.
Yeah.
And this lady, I forget her name. You know her name, but
Sherelle.
Sherelle.
Sure.
She was drunk. She came out to us, and she saw Ben with his camera. So I'll let you tell the rest.
Yeah. In fact, I think we went down there that day because you wanted to film like a video. Of, What?
Dude, I'm gonna put that video, since I have this all recorded too, the whole conversation from this GoPro. So I'll put like a small clip of her talking to you.
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be funny.
I forgot the GoPro was set up.
I don't know, it's like 10 minutes long maybe. I'll just like chop it up and put it into like a little edit.
So, do you have a number? Do you take pictures? Yeah.
I just do it kind of as a hobby right now.
No. Do you live in Orange County? No.
Yeah, I live right over in Huntington.
Okay. Give your card 35420. He started like doing all my parties and all this, and he became so famous.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's like perfect, honestly.
It is.
I didn't even think about that. Fuck.
Dude, and you know what's even funnier? Like while we're talking about this event and stuff, I'll change your permissions on that gallery. You can download the pictures I took and kind of like cut them in at certain points as I'm like talking about this event.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, you know, we were down in Lido, going around just shooting to have fun, you know, and as you know, as the viewers don't know, but as you know, you know, I started taking pictures for fun a couple years ago.
Yeah. Back
when you were really into it. It was film photography. It was like what you, me, and Jack, we all kind of got our it's how we all kind of sort of dipped our toes into it. But I think you had a little bit more experience shooting beforehand, like with your.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of like surf photography and videography.
Yeah.
Getting back into that, mostly video, but I do want to take photos and stuff still. Mm-hmm. And it's so fucking hot right now where we are. The sun's beating down on us, but it's fine. So.
That table's looking pretty nice right about now.
We're gonna stay here. We'll deal with this shit.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, so I've been shooting for a couple of years for fun, you know. I certainly wouldn't have considered myself, you know, if you would have asked me like 2 years ago, like, oh, like, do you want to get into photography? I would have been like, no way, Jose.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, this is a fun little thing. And I honestly thought it was just going to be like a sort of like trend or phase in our group for like a little bit. And I wasn't sure I was going to stick with it, but you know, it was really fun. I really grew to enjoy it.
It is fun, yeah.
Yeah. And I started investing in a little more. I got my own like DSLR camera to learn on. And you know, fast forward to, what was it? Maybe like a month ago. We're down in Lido shooting. Sherelle walks up.
Keep talking.
Sherelle walks up and you know, asked for a card. You know, he'll include the clip, so I don't butcher my recounting of this, but you know, she essentially then just is like, you know, here's my number, you know, text me and I'll like find a place or an event that you can like go shoot out for experience.
And like when this was going on, we're like, at least in my head, I was like, she's kind of drunk, so like I don't know how like legit this is. She says she owned like a magazine, like a local Orange County magazine and stuff. So we're like, okay, maybe, but it turned out to be true. Yeah, which is really cool, and it's a lot cooler than you probably thought it'd be too, honestly.
100%. Like, even after she started texting me, I had heavy doubts in my mind. Like, part of me really wanted to believe it.
Yeah.
You know, because of like,
well, yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
you know, if it was true and it really did happen, that'd be like awesome.
Yeah.
And it did happen and was awesome. And then the other part of me though, I'm like, a lot of her texts kind of had like typos and stuff.
Like she was drunk texting the whole time.
And like I almost there was like a strong portion where I was like, you know what? Maybe this is somehow like an elaborate scam. Like maybe that's what's happening, or maybe I'm just getting like fucked with or something.
Yeah.
But eventually she reaches back to me about her friend Craig Shaw, who owns a Swiss. He's a Swiss watch designer, and she mentioned that he was going to be throwing a sort of charity golf tournament type event. It was going to occur over a weekend in Carlsbad, and she was like, you know, I'm going to reach out to him, see if you can come and shoot there for experience.
Yeah.
Some time passed. I was thinking, no, you know, maybe it's not going to happen. And even she was like, you know, it might not happen. And if it doesn't, I'm going to be hosting an event though, in like later in October, and you can definitely come and shoot that one. Then she gets back to me. Craig said it was all right. He's already hired photographers though, so like I wouldn't be getting paid or anything, and I'd be responsible for my own like arrangements. Like if I were to head down there, she connected me to him. I joined in on like a Zoom meeting with the production team. They had already been in sort of like the talks and works about it for I think about a month before the actual event. So I really joined in like last minute, like the week of. Joined the Zoom call, listened in, introduced myself to the people. Right after the Zoom call, the head videographer and his partner, they reached out to me. Super cool guys. Definitely check them out. Riptide Productions SD on Insta.
Let's talk about them real quick, because like this was like a week ago, right? That you were like talking to them. I think they reached out to you to come stay with them for like the whole event and stuff. Yeah. So let's talk about them real quick.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm getting into that. Like I joined the Zoom call. I'm not sure what to expect. You know, it's my first ever event. Yeah. I don't know how professional this is going to be, and obviously there's some sort of like a little bit of anxiety where it's like, you know, I hope that my performance is going to be up to the standard.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make a good impression. Zoom call ends. These guys are like, you know, do you mind if we call you to like talk about this? And they call me, and so it ends up we having like a 40-minute conversation over the phone. They're super cool guys. They've only, I found out like during the event, so their production company has been around or they've started it about a year ago. So they're still pretty early on in their like careers, but they do a lot of videography type things. They've shot a couple weddings. They've done a couple music videos. They do sort of like hype recap videos and whatnot. And I guess they had so the two guys are Ace and Jacob. They had met not too long, like before they ended up starting up their production company. I believe that they said they met at their church, and they did a lot of videography stuff for their church, and that's how they, I guess, decided like, you know what, we would be like a good team for a production company. Jacob is like an expert at like Adobe After Effects. He's like a great editor. You should definitely check his work out. We'll include links to their stuff in the description of the video or something, or right here and right here, or maybe here and here.
We'll put their Instagram handles.
Yeah, and then Ace, he's a he went to school to be an audio engineer, and then he's in school again right now for design. So he knows all about like, you know, sound design or whatever, and he's also like really like he's got some really creative ideas in terms of like cinematography and whatnot.
Yeah.
So they call me up, and you know, just right from the get-go, they're super nice. They're really super welcoming. They're like, hey man, you know, like, you know, I introduced myself as, you know, I'm doing this for experience. I haven't done this before. And they're like, yeah man, you know, if you have any questions at all about anything, like feel free to call us, reach out to us. Like, during this event, after the event, before it, even if it's not related to it, you know, like.
Yeah, so these guys will be like just good people to be friends with in general. So like it seems like they want to be friends too.
Definitely.
The whole creative workspace and everything like that.
Yeah, and they're really big on sort of that stoking that sense of like community between like creatives. You know, they're like that's important to us, and I have to agree a lot. And I couldn't be more grateful that like those are the guys that I started out with.
Yeah.
So the event, and then they also, not only are they super nice in that sort of sense, they were like, hey man, you know, I don't know if you figured out like what your arrangements are going to be when you're staying down here, but we have like one of the other sound guys who we're going to let like stay at our place for the weekend, and you're more than welcome to come. You know, we don't have any more like rooms available, so you'd just be sleeping on like a cot in the living room, but you know, we would hate for you to have to spend money on a hotel since like you're not doing this for money. I took them up on the offer. I went down Thursday, which was the day before the like 3-day event started. Met up with them at the resort. We had there was like a 3-hour sort of like briefing where they were setting up some of the stage and equipment for the event, and then also just sort of going over what the plan's going to be for the first day.
Yeah.
Having us all like get into the sort of like get into the groove and, you know who's going to do what. First day was pretty simple. I got to meet everyone. I got to meet Craig. I got to meet the other sound engineers, the production managers, and Ace and Jacob were just as cool as like they seemed like over the phone and whatnot. Mm-hmm. We head back to their place, and like, wow, like these guys, they got so much cool equipment, and like, you know, we just really hit it off like right from the beginning. Like we just like clicked. Go to bed that first night, start the next morning wake up at 5 a.m., get to the location at 6 a.m. And I mean, like right from the start, like, you know, I would assume like starting an event like that, you should feel maybe a little bit like a stress or whatever. But I would have to say, like after meeting them, you know, just like from the beginning of that weekend to the end, I don't think at any point there was like not a single moment where I was not having a great time. It didn't feel like working at all. All the people I worked with were really great, and like, you know, I would hope that future events are going to feel the same way, you know, because it really didn't feel like a job. Like, it just felt like hanging out with friends.
Imagine like
I just met them.
And imagine like you meet them and they're just like total asshole, like snobby, like photo kids or something like that. But like it's cool that they're super friendly and stuff. And I mean, I hope to meet them too. So.
Oh yeah, like definitely. And you know, like I was just recently talking to them like the other day, and you know, we had mentioned like they were extending offers for me to come back down there and shoot with them, be it for other events or even just for fun, you know. And I said the same thing to them. You know, come on up to Orange County, like. Great guys, probably going to be like lifelong friends in the industry, honestly. And let's see, so the event starts off. The first day is it's a golf tournament. That's like the sort of big thing going on. The location for it was at the Westin and Sheraton Resort and Spa in Carlsbad. It's kind of like it's right above Legoland. You can see Legoland actually from that parking lot there. And then it's like between Legoland and Palomar Airport. And so we start off the first day, Craig, like my job is Craig's like, you know, I just want you to follow me for like the beginning of the day, and that'll be what you're up to. Jacob and Ace, they were there at the golf course at the beginning of the day with me too for, I'd say, the event started at we went down to the golf course to kind of set things up from about 8. And then it started at about 9, and then I was there from, you know, 8 till I think like maybe 2 or something like that. And then I headed back to the hotel. Ace and Jacob, they were responsible for a couple other things, so they left me a little bit earlier to go record some like conferences or panels going on back at the resort. While I'm there, you know, it's a really cool opportunity to, one, kind of see this have a little bit of a view into this type of world, because so the event itself I assumed was just like a charity golf tournament, and I found out more as it went on. It was the golf tournament, it was raising money and awareness for these charity groups, It was a networking sort of event, and it was a place for these sort of startups to get recognized, and all these different entrepreneurs to try and mingle and see who can help who with what. I met a lot of cool people there. I certainly would have expected some of these like sort of wealthier individuals to maybe like not be as friendly as they were, but I was taken aback. A lot of them were really down to earth. I'd say I only met like maybe a couple individuals and weren't like super nice, but even then, they weren't even people that were there for the whole event. They were just kind of people that showed up on the second day for the bigger white party gala type event, where they handed out awards and whatnot. But so we started off, and we'll include some pictures that I took from the event. We're at the golf course, kind of meet together. Everybody's shaking hands, and not only was it my first event though, Craig, who was running it, this was also his first event that he hosted.
Really?
So yeah,
Wow.
it was a learning experience for
everyone.
honestly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Craig is a super cool guy. It was super nice and like super welcoming. I really didn't feel like didn't feel like there was like a pressure to like that I wasn't performing well enough. Like he was just super. I don't know if it was, he was viewing me as some like I'm here for experience, so not to expect the top tier professional grade stuff, but he was a super cool guy and whatnot. If I had like any sort of questions, like he was just like, oh yeah, like this is like kind of what I want, or hey Ben, like can you come over here and like do this. The people I got to like meet, like the other people working with him, were really cool. One of the guys actually goes to school in Long Beach here. I would have to say the experience I got there in terms of shooting an event was great and invaluable. The people I got to meet and the sort of connections I got to make was also an amazing and invaluable thing. And I mean, like I said earlier, just not sound like a broken record or anything, but it really didn't feel like work.
Well, that's a good thing though.
Yeah.
It was like totally carefree and like just comfortable, it sounds like.
Yeah, like
and plus you did get paid too.
Oh,
you didn't get paid in cash, but you did get paid eventually.
Mm-hmm. So
by experience and by something else.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. But so yeah, and the first day, not only do I get to meet like some of these some wealthier individuals that I did not know of before, but they had made money in startups and businesses. Yeah. I met some other photographers that were there, be it I think they were more like hobbyist type photographers, what they did on the side. But there was, how do you say, like when you're walking around in an event carrying cameras like around, it's sort of it's like people kind of treat you differently. There's like kind of a weight to your presence.
Well, I have a question about this. Like, were people just coming up to you all the time just to be in photos? Because I feel like people want to be seen, especially like in videos, but like in the photos too. So whenever they're posted like wherever on a website or something, like they'll see themselves up there, right?
So the first day, not so much. The first day, a lot of the photos I got, I was walking up to groups of people and I'm having them pose, or I'm like, oh, like smile.
Yeah.
They were all like, I did not find a single person that was like don't take my picture. All of them were like, oh, hey, like,
Well, they have to know they're gonna be on camera anyways.
Yeah, that's
like,
fair.
It's a big ass event, so.
But like, having, those cameras with me though, it's like I walk around and there's like almost a sense of authority that I had, you know?
Yeah.
I could part crowds with hand gestures. I could stop.
You can do anything, to be honest. Like, honestly. It's crazy.
I mean, yeah, like it was fun. Like being able to see so many, experience so many different things that I honestly either I had never even thought of, or I would not have expected myself to experience them as early on into my like photography career as it is. Highlights of the first day. I got to meet Coolio.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty sick. I honestly probably wouldn't even recognize him. Did you recognize him, or like did someone say, "Oh, that's Coolio"?
I knew Coolio was coming before he showed up because they kept saying like Coolio's gonna be coming later. But I I have to admit though that the name rung a bell. I couldn't put a face to it, and I don't know why, but I somehow sort of spaced out on Gangster's Paradise, and I was like, what do I know Coolio from?
His foot's hurt.
Yeah?
He's like limping
Which one? Oh, that one back there?
by the rock. Yeah.
Right. He's feigning an injury, so we feed him.
That sucks.
Damn.
Oh yeah, but sorry, Coolio.
Like, so yeah, embarrassingly, I totally spaced out on Gangster's Paradise, which is funny because I really do like that song.
That's like his only song he has, to be honest.
His biggest song, for sure.
Yeah. It's a huge rap song.
It is.
But like,
it's a good song.
it's good. Yeah.
It's like a rap anthem, honestly. But what I remembered him from, and when I went up and spoke to him, what I referenced was the episode that he did on Hot Ones, and
Oh. Yeah, I forgot he was on there.
yeah, in fact I referenced that only because of how effed up he seemed to have gotten on the episode.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't handle the spicy food, and so I was taking pictures of him with lots of groups of people. Him and Craig, I guess, him and Craig actually had met at an event like just before this that I think was maybe not the weekend before, but maybe 2 weekends before, where I think he also performed at. They hit it off, and Craig invited him to this. He came. Craig's son is also an R&B artist, and I was listening to like him and Coolio talking as I'm taking their pictures, and Coolio's like, he's pretty down to earth. He's talking to him. He's mentioning how both of his sons are into like music production.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like music artists, but they just either produce it
There's
or
in the industry.
Yeah, and he seemed like I don't know, like maybe I'm just being cynical, but I just sort of like had an assumption that a lot of people in these sort of like positions of fame or they have a lot of wealth, like maybe
Kind of like arrogant or cocky.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'm sure there are some.
Oh yeah.
But it seems like everyone at this event was pretty chill.
Yeah, definitely. And and this was even before I think like drinks started flowing. So
Wow.
Yeah. But so I met Coolio, made a reference to Hot Ones. He said something I can't even remember, like Fashaka or Fashala. I don't even know, but but let's see. So
Did you get his number?
No. But when his birthday comes up, I'm gonna be posting a picture of us and a shout out to him.
Yeah.
I'll be like, shout out to my boy Coolio.
That's funny.
But so the golf tournament, it's going on, and unexpectedly though, like I was expecting the whole weekend to be really like sunny and hot, and I think everyone was, but we actually had like some flash flood warnings and like sort of rain coming in out of nowhere, almost kind of derailed the golf tournament, and there was going to be a helicopter ball drop following it.
Really?
So what that was Craig had rented out like a pilot in his helicopter.
Yeah.
And they were going to fly at the end of it. They're going to fly over the golf course.
Drop all the golf balls.
They were going to drop like a few thousand golf balls out of the helicopter onto this hole.
Yeah.
They were numbered, and it was like sort of a raffle lotto thing. And so that comes and happens. They drop them. Everyone's gathering around. A lot of them, it's like the coolest thing that they've ever seen. And I won't lie, it was pretty damn cool. Like, helicopter comes zooming in.
Some guys like just dumping golf balls out of a couple buckets.
I knew the guy who was dumping the golf balls out. I had spoken to him like just earlier in the day before that happened.
Was it Coolio?
No.
They're playing Gangster's Paradise while like dropping all the balls.
Dude, like looking back, I like, what I should have said when I went up to like Coolio? I was like, I should have been like, dude, this is golfer's paradise out here.
Golfer's Paradise.
But I missed that opportunity, so maybe next time. But
next time, yeah.
So the helicopter comes over. Inside, I believe it was Dave. I'm really bad with names. There's so many names I heard, and it's really hard. Like, I remember a lot of first names, and a lot of people had the same first name. So if you hear Dave a lot in this recap, you know, there were a lot of Daves there. And Dave is the one in there holding duffel bags of golf balls, and helicopter's flying over. He's pouring them out. I got, you know, we have a couple photos of that. And then at the end, helicopter takes off and Craig just starts full sprinting down the hill. I'm running after him. I'm getting photos. Everybody else is coming down the hill. They're all running. It looks like, you know,
really?
It's like a mad mob. Yeah. Everyone's running down. It's all exciting.
All these people, are they all dressed up nice and stuff? I feel like...
Yeah, for the most part. Or they were at least wearing like golf attire, you know, something like that. And actually before this happened, like a group of people had come down. So for a period we thought maybe the golf ball drop wasn't going to happen because of the rain.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have been like too stormy for the helicopter to fly in. So I was waiting down there with Jacob. Jacob was set up with his tripod, ready to get like angles and footage of the helicopter coming in. I was there, you know, just waiting for, to see if it was going to happen, then I would be there to take pictures. And then Ace he actually drove to Palomar Airport with Craig, set a GoPro in the bag of golf balls to get an action shot of them falling out of the helicopter, which I already saw the clip of that, which like turned out really well.
Nice.
And then as we're waiting there, some guests, you know, start coming down, you know, because not everyone showed up right at the beginning. Some people kind of like drifted in a little bit later into the day, and this group of people come in, and since I was just sitting at the booth, kind of like taking a load off on my feet, you know, people are sitting down, they're talking to me. People had like already remembered my name from earlier in the day, and which felt cool, you know, like having people like, oh, hey Ben, you know, like
when this is all going on, like, were those the guys you were with, like, staying there? They just all, like, in separate areas, taking, like, photos of different things and, like, videos and stuff?
So I was the only one taking photos, like, at least out of, like, our production group.
Yeah.
And like, on that first day. They were, for the most part, so Jacob and Ace did, like, go and do, like, get video of other things, or they went off, like, on a golf cart to go do stuff. Just because, like, just because Craig had since like Craig wanted me to like stay kind of where he was and get photos of that.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I had like a designated area to be in. So, I mean, they were definitely around for a lot of it, but then there were periods where I was just by myself, or it was just me and Jacob.
Yeah.
And funny story, actually, before Coolio showed up and before the rain started, me and Jacob actually took Coolio's golf cart. You know, had his name on it and everything. We're driving it around. We're making jokes about it. Wow, this is gonna be the craziest story from the event. Rain starts coming down. It's storming. None of my gear is weather sealed. I'm like, dude, my event's about to end before it even starts. Like, we run back in and we're like, oh, well, I guess like today's done. But the rain lets up and, you know, the golf ball drop ends up happening. But as we're waiting for that, some more guests are coming down. I was making jokes to this one couple, where she was asking like, so like, what's this golf ball drop? Like, what's the point of it? And I had no idea. Like, a lot of the information I got just kind of came in as like the guests heard about it. So I was just making a lot of assumptions, and I made this joke to her. I was like, oh, but the golf ball drop is actually, all the guests are gonna line up on one end of the green of the hole that they're gonna drop the golf balls on. And when they start, the guests, we have to run to the other side without getting hit. And if you make it to the other end without getting hit, that's like when you get the prize. She totally believed me. She's like, what? No way. That hurts. That's, I'm not doing that.
That would hurt.
And, you know, I had a lot of fun with these people, you know. It was fun joking around with them and like building some rapport and whatnot. I handed out all my business cards. I got business cards in return. I got some like job offers. Like the whole networking aspect of it is another thing I really enjoyed out of the experience. And the golf balls drop, everybody runs down, and the giveaway was whichever ball ends up in the hole, like that person wins, I think, like $10,000. And
did you have a ball in this raffle?
I did not have a ball.
Oh, wow.
I wish I had a ball. Next time, I want a ball. But it was actually 2 golf balls made it in. So 2 people won. Don't quote me on the $10,000 thing though. I can't remember exactly what the prize was. But there was a prize.
Was it money? Or
I'm
like
pretty sure it was money.
a watch?
It was probably a watch and money. But so they did that, and then after the 2 balls that actually made it in, then Craig called over like some of the kids that were there, like brought with their families, had them come and pick a ball, and I think those kids and that family might have also like won something out of it. You know, Craig was definitely a really generous guy. He was giving away tons of watches at this event. You know, there were just like a lot of things given to these groups. And I had made the assumption at first that everybody there was fairly well off and whatnot, but there were some individuals that were like just starting out with their sort of companies, or they were sort of, you know, they had like inspiring stories to be told, and Craig like wanted them to have a sort of a place to speak. In fact, one of the coolest guys there and had like a really inspiring story was I need to look up his name again. We'll just pause on this. But let me pull him up real quick. Dave, okay, here we go. One of the coolest guys there, Dave Stevens. He had a really inspiring story. Now, I have a photo of him that we can show up of him and Craig. So Dave was born without legs. I don't recall the name of that condition. He was born without legs. His parents had given him up at birth.
Damn.
He was then adopted by an older couple. I think it was like a World War II vet and his wife. And since they were older, and he was a veteran, he was like, we didn't have a lot of money growing up, and as a result, we moved around. And, you know, he's like, that's hard for a kid growing up with that condition. You're going to new schools, and you kind of have to make friends. And he decided at a fairly young age that he wasn't going to let his disability, you know, impede him or prevent him from like doing things that he wanted to do. And he is actually the first and the only athlete without legs to play in, let me check again. He is the only ever athlete to play college football or minor league baseball without legs. And you can actually look up videos of him.
That's crazy.
In the outfield, pitching, at the base, swinging.
If he has no legs, was he in a wheelchair?
No, he's got no legs. There? And he's out there.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It was really like, and he was, you know, he had a lot of funny stories too. He was like, you know, I'm out there playing football, and he's like, I know how to tackle you. You guys don't know how to tackle me. And he's like, and I took full advantage of that. And, you know, like lots of footage. Definitely want to check him out.
What's he do now? Like, I know he's doing like the talk about all this stuff, but like, what's he do now, or like to be in that position talking at this thing? Yeah.
So what he does now is he goes around to his like goal is he wants to spread like awareness for like people with disabilities, and the things are he wants to teach, you know, empathy, not pity. He's like I don't want to butcher the sort of like speeches that he gave there because I can't recall them word for word, but essentially he was just saying how, you know, I just want people to understand that, like, you know, like this is my normal, this is how I've been my whole life, you know, so I'm not disabled, because to be disabled I would have had to be enabled in the first place. And he's like, that just wasn't the case. I'm just a person just like everyone else, you know, we're all people, you know, we got dealt different hands in life. Really inspiring character, and he had a sense of humor. At the golf tournament, there were some stilt walkers, and Dave rolls on over to him and hops down, and he's like, get a photo of me with him.
That's cool. That's really cool, that guy.
So let's see. The ball drop happens. The award, the raffles
all the first day?
This is all the first day. This is all the first half of the first day.
Oh my god. We probably won't talk about all of it.
We'll just cover the first day for this episode. Because honestly, we can finish it up in just a second one. Because the third day, not too much happened. The second day, a lot happened. But so the golf tournament comes to an end. we start packing things up to head back to the resort, and there is, you know, we're packing our gear up. There's like a couple hour lull, kind of, between us packing up gear. I think on the first day, we might have had a panel that we went and sat in on to like film or take pictures of. I might be mistaken. My memory's a little hazy on that. It was a long weekend. But later that day though, so we go back to the hotel, we pack our stuff up, and then we head back to Ace and Jacob's place. We go change a little bit, try and recharge our gear real quick, and then we make our way over to a distillery in San Marcos for where they were hosting this glow party. And so the glow party was kind of Craig like launching his new line of vodka, or that he was like, you know, coming out with. And then also it was kind of like a mini rave experience almost. And when we got there, my job and like Jacob and Ace's job, we were setting up a red carpet like photo shoot. So we get there, we're setting up the backdrop, setting up the lighting and whatnot, kind of getting prepped for this. Some people are starting to flow in, and as the night gets going, you know, people start showing up. Everyone's having a good time. They're drinking, they're dancing, they're partying. We got the photo op, and like you mentioned earlier, a lot of people want to come up just get photos taken. That didn't happen too much at the golf tournament, but once you have that designated like photo area, that's when like people, there was almost always a line of people there ready to get pictures taken. We were also doing interviews right at the beginning with one of our production managers, John. He was the one conducting the interviews we were filming. That went on for, you know, I want to say maybe like 30, 40 minutes or so. Once those came to an end, it was just for photo ops. Jacob and Ace then went around to go and get footage of the actual thing, and I stayed there the whole night just getting pictures, either with my own camera to be able to like send to Craig, or a lot of people, and it was great. Like, I'm glad that a lot of people like wanted this, was they just wanted pictures on their own phone, which is nice because they're able to get them right away. You know, because
post them on Instagram, on Facebook, whatever, right away.
Exactly.
Show what they're at like this conference with a bunch of billionaires and shit.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you gotta make sure there's evidence that you were there. Everybody wanted pictures with everyone. A lot of people wanted multiple pictures. You know, it was a fun time. It was a fun environment. You know, I gotta meet a lot of cool people that way. And, you know, over that, I think that party went on for maybe 5-6 hours, as it's like sort of coming to an end, wrapping up. The party was still going on when me, Ace, and Jacob ended up deciding to leave because, you know, we got enough footage, enough pictures. The last couple hours, we don't need any more of that. So we were like, we got to get some sleep because we got to wake up in the next 5 hours and do this all over again. So, you know, I got to say, like, that first day alone was a great experience. And it was just, you know, that was just day one of what continued to be a really great experience.
Seems like a lot just happened that one day.
Honestly.
And it's like a whole 3-day event, so like, I'm sure that second day is crazy too.
Oh yeah, and I mean like, and I'm missing out on a lot of stuff just because there was so much.
Just like the highlights.
Yeah, you know, I'm just trying to give you the key points.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was a great experience. I was glad I was able to do it, and I hope to be able to continue to do this in the future, and I hope you guys decide to join us next time for the next episode.
Yeah, we'll be doing some photo work for some people that were there, hopefully soon. Sounds like
possibly next week, actually.
Yeah, some photo and some video work up in like LA for some products of people that he met over there. Just get some more experience, meet some more people, network and stuff. So it should be cool.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
I think that concludes this episode.
Yeah.